Hey, Lee here with Seven Sparrows Farm, and today we're here with Tristian at McGuire's Millrace Farm in Western North Carolina, and we are talking about
the Ergo Plus double brood box beehive set.
that's a mouthful, so that's why I let him say it. But we're going to do a walkthrough on that, show you around in case you're wanting to get one for yourself, and I guess for your bees.
So the reason that I got an apimaye, or at least a selling point for me, was the fact that it's insulated. Both of these boxes are insulated. They actually have like a spray foam inside of it. You can see that on our website. But that doesn't mean that it's just going to stay warm. It's actually going to keep them cool in the summertime. You know, the whole purpose of it is to reflect heat. So during the summer, it's going to reflect heat off the hive, and in the winter, it's going to keep heat in the hive that the bees are producing. So starting at the bottom, what makes this hive different than your traditional honeybee hive is its bottom board. It actually, just at a glance, you actually see it has entrance reducers. So these little sliding mechanisms actually can reduce the hive down to however many you want. At the same time, it can actually close off entirely, which is really nice because if you look on the sides, the hive actually latches together. This is screwed into the box, and so this makes for easy transportation. You don't have to put screen on the front or anything like that. You close the entrance reducers and your bees are locked inside, as well as these actually act as ventilation or as a secondary entrance. Close these off and it keeps the bees inside while maintaining ventilation through these holes, through the screen bottom board, and through the top. Another added feature of this is that it acts as a mouse guard. I know a lot of people, typically up north, will have issues with mice getting inside the hive overwintering. The colony will be up in the top, and the mice will move in and make a nest in the bottom, eating off honey and pollen. Come springtime, you'll have a rat nest in your hive. So this keeps mice out. It keeps larger insects like European hornets out as well, which is a really nice add-on. If you'll come around back, it actually has several other features. It has a screen bottom board, which falls into a plate. So this, if you'll see, I actually had bees in here at one point. Pollen has fell through the bottom, through the screen, and collects here. This will catch varroa mites, small hive beetles. On top of this, you actually will have, it's a pretty nifty addition, is a pollen trap. So it snaps in, and the bees actually, if you look on the inside of this hive, the bees have to travel through these little holes, and the pollen baskets will fall off into this tray on the very inside. And that can come on and off whenever you'd like, and you can refeed this to your bees or even take it yourself as a supplement. If you want to take this off, simply remove these two, put it back, and then replace it with this, or the bees will actually start exiting the hive through this entrance here. Pop this in, and closed off. So now looking at the top, just like the sides, the top is insulated, which is really nice, particularly for wintertime. And like the other two, they have latches to hold it down. Pretty nifty. You don't have to ratchet your hive to your stand, particularly in high winds if it's a new one and it's light. Looking at this, there's feeders on top. Looking at this, they have more ventilation around here. Really important in the hive. And if the bees don't want it, they'll actually propolize this. That's completely up to them. They'll handle that. It just gives them the option. These feeders actually have several options. You can put sugar syrup in here, just like a hive top feeder would act, and the bees will climb the ladder here and come down. Or you can even flip this. Actually, I had that right. If you flip them this way, the bees can actually come up and enter into this cavity, and you can put pollen patties, you can put your pollen that you've harvested from your pollen trap, and they can take it into the hive that way. So it's a dual purpose feeder. Below this is your empty box. They do have a special apimaye frame. It's called a Pro frame. That is an additional cost, but I hear a lot of people really like them because they're very simple, very easy to use, particularly with wax foundation. When your box comes in the mail, you'll get a couple of things that come separate. One of them is your frame rests, and these help space your frames properly so that it's equally distributed. You don't have them mesh to one side or the other. Secondary thing are these dividing boards. This is a really nifty add-on that I didn't think about, that I actually didn't know about. But say you have a package, or even if you're wanting to merge colonies or even split them, put this thing right down the middle and it separates your hive, and they actually fit on top of each other in both boxes. They're fit to align, and you actually split the hive in half, and then they can use one of the two entrances. And then in these little fellas have 3 settings. You can actually close off communication to the either side. Second one is a queen excluder, so the queen can't get through, but the workers can. And the other one is ventilation, so it actually, they can smell each other, but they can't get to each other if you want to split or merge 2 colonies. And this goes for all 3 of these. Really nifty thought. Going down to the layer, again the latches, pull it off. It comes with a queen excluder. It's really nice. It actually fits the frame, hugs it, puts it down. I couldn't tell you whether or not a regular queen excluder would work, but it comes with it, so I wouldn't worry about it. These are just my frames I've put in here for demonstration, but you can see something that's important is this actually fits down into the hive between 5 frames. It actually essentially makes 2 5-frame nucleus hives. Now, whether or not you can have 2 separate hives in the same colony, I'm not sure. They may fight for space at the entrance. I couldn't necessarily tell you that for sure, but it does leave room for 5 frames on each side of the divider, which I think is a really neat addition to this. So the thing I should add when using your dividing boards is that they won't work with the pollen trap installed. So if you put it down, it actually won't fit at all. There's actually a little gap, and the box on top won't sit flush. So you'll need to remove this in order for it to set, which makes sense. If you have a small colony, there's no need to really harvest too much pollen from them because they're a small colony. But that fits in just nice. It actually, there's a little dividing thing here, so there's actually no way for them to get to the other side. And you can see the screen bottom board pretty well from here too. So another neat feature that apimaye has is that it actually has a serial number holder. I know in the state of North Carolina, you don't have to register your hives, but I know in some places, I think South Dakota is one, you actually have to have your beehives registered, and they'll give you a serial number, and this is the little pocket for it. It's a nifty little thing that just makes beekeeping easier. Something worth keeping in mind, especially if you're out west. Might look that up. So the reason I chose the double deep instead of just a single deep was, for one, it was on sale. Something I should mention is the Hive Life Conference, which this past year was in Sevierville, Tennessee. It occurs New Year's. It's a big conference. I recommend you come. But the apimaye company has a sale. It was $30 off, so I went ahead and just got the double deep just for pricing's sake. But also with the thought in mind that one day, if I did really come to like this hive and I wanted more, I could actually take the top box off and buy a separate bottom board and top, which come in a package, and then have 2 hives, which makes sense. And you don't actually need just a deep and a super. You can have 2 deeps and still make honey and still harvest it, because you have the queen excluder with the package. So I think it's a multi-use set. You know, you can use it for honey, you can use it for queen rearing, you can use it for splitting, whatever it may be, with the dividing board, with the queen excluder. So there's more than one reason why I got it, and just than money, than stuff.
Hey, I hope that was helpful for you. If you got any questions, leave those in the comment section below, and we'll put a link in the top of the comment section and in the description if you're interested in purchasing one of these, or you just want to click on it and learn a little bit more about from the company's website itself. That's about it. Thanks for watching.